This week in Hypixel Skyblock a few things happened, and in this video I'll be covering most of them. Certain skills have been updated, like enchanting has been buffed now, cause you can get the metaphysical serum dropped from any experiment higher than grand, and if you consume 3 of them, you get 2 extra super pair clicks. Also they are worth 10 million each right now, so you could make a decent amount of coins by grinding experiments. Also one for all's requirement was finally fixed, and it requires enchanting 38 to use. Hypixel has also buffed fishing, and you have a little icon on top of the fishes. You could also achieve the same thing by using mods, but this is a step into the right direction in my opinion, as making players depend on mods is just bad game design. They have also added multiple new mobs to the Bestiary, including Jerry. The Bestiary also scales now. At lower tiers you'll only get about 150k combat XP, but at higher tiers you can get a million. Now it is a nerf-ish, cause you used to get 1 million combat XP after every other tier up, but now you need to wait for 5 tiers to get a minuscule amount of combat XP, but we also have new sources, so I don't think it will be a huge problem. You can also check how many mobs you need to farm to max out the Bestiary for that mob. Like we talked about last week, the admins also added mob sharing for dungeons and kuudra parties. They also implemented kill credits for fishing. There's also a search bar in the Bestiary now. Also, all the mobs now give a different coin and magic find buff, as all of them have a different Bestiary cap. Now I don't know if my math is correct, but this change may have heavily nerfed ghosts. As before you could get 189 magic find for ghosts, but the amount of magic find you can get now is much lower. Yeah, some actually good Bestiary changes. You can actually claim Bestiary combat XP rewards now, instead of them being directly applied, which is a really good change, cause you can't count the number of times I've wasted my free 1 million combat XP on my epic sheep. Also it could be a decent way to make money, if you hold on to the XP and max out a pet at a later date. It could also be a good time to grab max level pets, cause there's so much free combat XP available right now. Both dungeons and kuudra were migrated to a new unified system, meaning the backend was greatly changed. You can also rejoin dungeons easily now. Let's say you accidentally quit or get disconnected from dungeons or kuudra. Back then you needed to get warped by a party member, and sometimes it wouldn't just be possible because they'd be too busy handling the chaos. But now you can simply rejoin Skyblock to rejoin the run. But I am also a bit skeptical about this change, as I don't know how this works with frag running, or if it has any potential wipes. You can also requeue dungeons now. The admins have also added additional checks in dungeons to prevent blood skipping. Yeah, some annoying changes. The Broodmother and the Key Guardian will now take a maximum of 5% of their health as damage per hit, meaning you need to click multiple times to farm these mobs. Minions no longer count towards the private island Bestiary, meaning it's a huge nerf to the island Bestiary, cause you need to make an actual mob grinder. Players deal 1% to legendary sea creatures caught by others for the first 5 seconds, meaning fishing parties were nerfed. Here are some good changes. Telekinesis actually works in dungeons now. The Watcher now spawns mobs faster in the blood room. You will also have 3 seconds of invulnerability after being revived in a dungeon run, so you'll not get insta-killed by boomers after getting spawned. Also, players will no longer take damage before or after a kuudra or dungeon run. So yeah, good change, gold star for me. Here are some random changes. The Archer's stun bow ability now works in dungeons. The Grizzly Bait has been renamed to Grizzly Salmon. Also yeah, a minor change, but they may add solo dungeons, so that's cool I guess.
First video comments.